Hello and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. On this episode, we're going to be taking a load to, I believe it's New Mexico. We're going to try and do just a little bit better than we did in the last couple of episodes because, to be perfectly honest, it's Montana. Okay, Billings, Montana, someplace I've actually been. I I um, I thought it was New Mexico. I didn't read it completely, but we'll get to that here in a second. Um, To be perfectly honest, I would have liked to have had the last couple of episodes that I filmed be better than what they were. So we're actually going to go ahead and or no, that's not the one. Yeah, it is New Mexico. Okay. Wow. Okay. Anyway, that said, that's same load. That said, I would like the episodes to be just a little bit better, a little bit less mistake ridden as the case may be in terms of the driving. The last episode was quite interesting, but we're going to try not to make it like that again. So this load that we're going to take here goes to Raton, New Mexico. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's a high value, normal delivery, heavy cargo, and it's an articulated trailer. Now we have not done one of these um, on this series yet. And I don't particularly know if my truck will be able to handle a heavy cargo, but we will find out. Oh, I guess it can. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and set to the nearest set we're going to go ahead and continue, and we're going to go ahead and start off. Now, we're starting off in the middle of the night and it's already raining, but that's not too big of a deal. Now, I should have done a little bit of bragging on people before I took off, but I was actually backed into one of these little car parking spots. Guys, if I can do it in a semi, and I've done it in real life, y'all can do it in a pickup truck. It's not that dang hard. That's a pet peeve of mine that a lot of people a lot of people just don't give a damn about their parking. And I'll be honest, it is something that does greatly irritate me. But with that out of the way, we're going to make this episode just a little bit more pleasant. I'm going to leave most of my bitching. Oh, shit. Well, I missed the sign. That was interesting. Truck didn't want to turn. Uh, I'm going to leave the majority of my bitching for, on that kind of subject out for now. But we're going to go ahead and get this load and head out. So we could also take this one going to Colby, Kansas, but I think I'd rather go to a new place this time. And that one's going to get us a pretty good chunk of change. And we may end up um, we may end up there's our trailer there, buying a new uh, dang it, what's the word? Headquarters. And I'm not saying we're going to be moving to that headquarters. That's just going to be another place for us to be able to stop and rest. And nope, didn't make it. It's going to be another place for us to stop and rest and just relax. And when the car DLC comes in, we'll put a car in that warehouse or that headquarters, and we will use it for exploring the local area. So we're running with a articulated trailer. Now these trailers, oops, I don't want, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. It's been a minute since I've played this. Now these articulated trailers I actually do not have any experience with outside of this game. So, Jesus, dude, you couldn't have fucking waited? It's a good thing we have a flat nose on this truck, or that guy wouldn't be here right now. Holy crap. I think after this load... Get in there, dang it, thank you. I think after this load, I will adjust my accelerator pedal a little bit for this game and see if that helps us out with our acceleration issue. Because I've noticed as I've been playing this game that the trucks tend to like to accelerate way faster than they should. Okay, we have to take extremely wide turns with this. Oh, we found an international dealer. How about that? So we are actually lugging it. There we go. And we're gonna have to come down to a stop anyway. But we got the brake pedal pretty well set. And I'm still, this series is still new enough that I'm still messing around with my Jesus, I thought I was rolling. I'm still messing around with my key bindings and my settings. So that's really something that's not going to be, you know, ironed out until we're several more episodes in, I think. But we'll see what happens. This truck seems to behave quite a bit better than what I've been expecting from this game thus far. It's just the revs of the engine are a little bit higher than I think they should be for the amount of throttle that, or the amount of pull that this truck has. And we are on wet roads here, so the traction probably isn't the best. Alright, well, we made it. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. So we are rolling along here. Looks like the rain has let up quite a bit. Now hopefully this won't be like the last episode that I posted on YouTube with the Peterbilt. And full disclosure, I'm still in. I'm well ahead of posting, so this video probably won't come out for another 2 or 3 weeks from that episode. So that episode was, I believe we were going to Casper, Wyoming. I could be wrong. We were leaving Bakersfield. That's what I do remember that. So that gives you some reference. But, and I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. Isn't that just how it usually is? Oh well. I'm sure in the editing I'll remember, but oh well. It wasn't that important if I can't remember it now. Yeah, this truck seems to be doing a lot better than the Pete did. And for being just a 10 speed, it seems to have a lot of get up and go. This particular load, I believe, is just a couple ounces over. Yeah, we're 88.5, so we're considered heavy haul right now. And I know for a fact that Peterbilt would not do it. Y'all are going to be seeing that in the next Peterbilt episode from the time that I'm recording this. But yeah, this truck is doing pretty good so far. I've still got quite a bit of learning to do on it, but I think it'll be all right. We're going to start hiring drivers here pretty soon too, and hopefully we can get some quality drivers here before too long. And I'm just flying by everybody like they're standing still. See if we can make it around these two before we get to the weight station. I can't believe as I was talking about that Peterbilt that I completely and totally forgot what I was going to say. That happens. Happens a lot more than I'd like. But yeah, I'm several videos ahead of what I'm actually posting. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Hopefully this one will not. Hopefully this episode will not all be night driving like that, like the last episode that I posted was. Well, hopefully we can get up to speed soon, but we got to stay in this lane anyway. I did do a little bit of looking for my engine brake before I started recording this episode, and it does seem that the engine brake does have a couple of settings on it, but for these older trucks it's kind of hit and miss as to what's available. This truck, I think, only has 2 settings. I think the Pete only had 2 settings, but I know most newer trucks had 3, and that was low, medium, and high. And I'm not going to go into detail. I think I've already explained that in a previous episode. Come on, dude. Jesus. There is zero reason to be doing 50 miles an hour. But yeah, this truck either has it in automatic on, you know, when you take your foot off the throttle, it just comes on automatically, or you have to turn it on automatically, and I prefer to turn it on automatically, just out of habit, just so it's a little bit more controlled. The newer trucks have 3 settings, low, medium, and high, and you can switch between the 3 of them. And I prefer to have it set to a specific one and turn it on and off as I need to. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. When I go to buy more modern trucks, that's what, you know, that's going to be one of the features that I'm going to be looking for. Yep, I figured. Well, yes, I know. I went from 6 to first, or 6 to 1. That's not what I wanted to do. That is. So we'll just kind of ease on up here. Your vehicle is not in perfect state. Be more careful. Yeah, okay. I probably need to do one of those complete overhauls again in order to get this truck back into a good state, because apparently they don't like it. But whatever. We will at least carry on. And hopefully we can continue doing the speed limit through here. And we're back in Gallup. Traffic use like okay. I didn't catch what that sign said, but okay. I think we'll be fine. We've been under this bridge a couple of times, so if that's what it's telling us to avoid. I don't think the game designers programmed in overly tall loads, except for the massively oversized loads that... Oops, sorry, dude. Didn't realize I was drifting. He did. You guys did, but I didn't. Well, let's not tip our truck again this time, huh? Fun as that is, I don't think we really need to do that. Now, I don't know how it is in the older trucks. Personally, because this game is the only game, or the only way I'll ever get to drive these older rigs. But in the newer trucks, the gearing is substantially different for 10 speeds. Where this one, I can do. You know, I can do the speed limit. That's no problem. The Freightliner that I had while I was running with Knight, I could about figure, 20 or 30 mile an hour in 6th gear, and that'd be fine. But it seems like this one you're only doing 20 or 30 mile an hour by the time you get to 8, and then the gearing starts taking up the slack. So I don't know if that's accurate or not for these older trucks, but it's definitely not something I'm used to. Well, let's see if we can get around this guy. Let's see if this guy's going to pass us here. And of course he's going to match the guy in front of us for speed. If I'm capable of doing it, I'm going to. got plenty of miles to pass him. And hopefully we don't end up he don't end up matching our speed as we go around him here. I don't think he will. I think we're going to get in. That's good. Okay, so we have until 12:30 to deliver this. That's no big deal. That'll be fun. We got plenty of time to get there. 12:30 is the early date. That was interesting. We're just gonna let it ride. I don't think they're gonna get us for 2 mile an hour over. They might for 10 though. Get in gear. It would actually be nice if that 6th position worked the way it was supposed to. Back over in your lane, numbnuts. Yeah, I don't know why it's so finicky. It's a brand new setup. I only got it just before Thanksgiving. So it is what it is. But yeah, I like this truck. It's not a forever truck, but I do like it quite a lot. And I've told a lot of people, I said if I ever get a chance, I'm gonna get an old air pusher like this, but I don't know that I can do it anymore. If I did, it'd almost have to be a conversion to an RV, because I damn sure can't drive truck for a living anymore. And I don't have enough money to convert one like this to an RV, much as I would like to. But I tell you what, if I were to ever get a 5th wheel, this would be the kind of vehicle I'd haul it with, because, you know, folks that have got the you know, the 5th wheel, they haul it with their pickup truck. They don't have the necessary pulling power for this kind of thing. You know, they think they do, and you get a 3/4 ton pickup truck and it's still squatted because of the weight of the camper. It's like, dude, you'd be better off getting a semi, or, you know, at least a day cab semi to haul that thing, or one of those toy haulers that Freightliner and Volvo build. I think we can get through here. Yeah, we're good here. Oh, get in there, damn it. Thank you. So this trailer, we're not going to be able to back it up in any way, shape, or form. We're not that good. It's not something that we're going to be able to do without a lot of training. And like I said, I've got no experience with this kind of trailer in real life. I've got no experience with articulated trailers in real life. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no such thing as backing a trailer like this up. So we're going to put it where we can. that's going to be all there is to it. I'm looking at my record time now. This may be a 2 delivery episode, regardless of what the next length of delivery actually is. But that said, I will venture to do these runs as realistic as possible. So if I can back it up, if there's an opportunity for me to back up a trailer, yes, I will do so, because that's what I used to do in real life, and I will venture to do so in this game as well. There's no reason why I can't. Get in there, thank you. Footbridge. Train station. How about that? So yeah, I found these articulateds, despite the fact that they have a much wider turn radius, and they are actually much heavier. I found they're quite a bit easier to handle in this game than regular trailers with similar loads. You know, like the trash truck or the loader that we delivered in the last episode, where we almost turned it over. You know, those kind of loads are extremely top heavy, whereas this one feels like it's fairly well planted, and that's always a good thing to have. Now we got everybody and their brother not doing the speed limit. So after we drop this load, we're going to go ahead and reset our clock and refuel. But we're going to pick up our next delivery first. I think that would probably be the best option to go about doing that, so we don't get screwed over on any type of load that we might have a chance to take. As far as that goes, I'm going to try and get a little bit more toward the Pacific Northwest. Rather than working our way back east to Wichita. Because what I want to do is actually try and find a terminal in the Pacific Northwest that we can run to from Wichita. See if we can't get direct routes. When we get high enough level, we're going to get longer run, larger mileage freight. So I'm going to see if we can't get some kind of headquarters up in that area to kind of give us that option to be able to do that fairly regular. And that'll also give us space enough for a couple more drivers and a couple more trucks as well. But it really depends on how much money we have at the time and where we end up. Because ultimately we do want to go back to Wichita to upgrade the building again, and we do want to hire a couple of drivers out of there to do the work, and we want to upgrade this truck and upgrade the old Pete at the same time. provided we have any more upgrades to get. I think we're about maxed out on our unlockables in this on these two trucks. But yeah, we're here before too long. We're gonna be working our way back toward Wichita and setting it up so that we can actually upgrade that warehouse again, or that headquarters again, that terminal. And we will go from there. But for right now, we're just gonna stay on running out in this direction. We're gonna try and get a load that goes further west if we can. One that pays halfway decent, of course. And then I think here in the next couple episodes, once we've got a little bit more saved up, we're going to hire a driver and set them on what I hope will be a more regular route. I don't know if it will be or not. I don't know if they do routing in this game or not. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to set them on we're going to set them out and see how they do. Something I really hope that SCS does for these games when they start coming out with the states further east is that they actually do increase the scaling on the map from what it is, because, you know, like I've said in a previous episode, they've got the problem that the further east you go, the smaller the states get. So they need to increase the scaling on the map to show that, to actually give those states more of a realistic feel. That said, I actually do hope that we get to see some of that. Because it would be quite nice to see the Appalachians, see the see the East Coast in this game. It would be quite the experience. Get in there. And yes, I know I'm shit, I'm coming to a stop here. I don't want to come to a stop. I thought I was actually at a stop, coming up to a stop sign. But that's alright. I just wasn't aware of where we were at. So our stop's coming up here. We're sitting right at 37 minutes for our delivery time. And we are now in Raton. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It could be Raton, it could be Raton. I don't know. I think it's Raton. If anybody is from Raton and you're watching this video, let me know. I want to know. I have no qualms about correcting my speech, unless it's somebody who has one of those like ruin versus ruin type deals. It's you know, to hell with that. But if I'm mispronouncing something that I don't know I'm mispronouncing, yes, I need to know about that. I am not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. So I'm always open to learn. Oh, this bridge is going to be interesting. I hope we can go under it. 21 foot, 16 inch. Yeah, we should be able to go over it, or go under it. 13.6 is the max that I ever consider. Oh shit. Well, that's going to be interesting. We hit that. Yeah, we hit that light pole. So what I'm going to do here is just back up the trailer a little bit. We're going to go forward. Hit that light pole. That's not something I intended to do. I didn't see us getting too close to it. That hitbox seems to have been a little bit bigger than I thought it was. I thought we were clear of it. Okay, so we're going to come out way wide. We've got to come out way wide on this. Now we can... Oh, shit, we don't want to do that. We want to... This is going to be interesting. Well, so much for me trying to get any number of... I thought we were a little bit further than we were from the spot. So we're going to see if... Okay, so let's go ahead and... Where should I place it? And hopefully it's just right close by. And it looks like it is. Alright. So let's see if we can make this happen. I don't know that we can. I hope that we can. Son of a buck. Let's keep trying here. We got to come back over here. Yeah, they don't make stuff like that easy. If it was easy, everybody could do it. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to line up, so oh well. We're going to, we're just going to skip it. It's not what I wanted to do, but yeah, it happens. Okay, so that puts us a little bit further ahead. Let's see what they've, well, no, let's not see what they've got in store. We might be able to find something better. So we're going to go into Freight Market again. Raton. We got Omaha, Nebraska, Joplin, Iowa. Well, that takes us in the wrong direction. Texas, Nebraska, Colorado, more Texas and Oklahoma. Nebraska, New Mexico, Oklahoma. Wonderful. Oops. Well, maybe if we're lucky. I mean, we need something that's going to take us further out over here. So I guess what we can do is we can work our way back to Wichita. I would genuinely like to get further out. So I think that's what we're going to do in the next run. But I think for now, we're going to go ahead and pick this load up. Looks like it's going to be basically the same. We're picking it up from here. It's going to be the same places, or it's going to be the same load. 5 will get you 10. It'll be a different trailer though. So before I actually set off for this load, I am going to change the gas pedal settings, or the throttle settings, I should say. So let's see what we've got here. Yep. Well, that might take us where we want to go. It's a little bit less than what we're making, but yeah, we'll do that one. All right, we'll do that one. That'll give us a little bit of variety. Where is our trailer? I don't see it. I'm sure it's back there somewhere. There it is. Okay, so we're just going to come over here, hook up to it, and I will brake and wow, what a ride. I will brake and reset my throttle settings. There we go. All right, so I will be right back. Okay, well, that didn't happen, but we're going to go into our navigation map, and we're going to see where we need to, or where we can scale this up. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get that lucky anyway. Dang it. Got to scale on both sides of the road here. As immediately after we leave. And this is going to be another short run. We're about halfway through our clock right now. So we're not going to make it in one go. But I think what I'm going to try and do is can't get to Johnson Corner from here, which isn't even displayed on the map, but it's actually a pretty nice little rest stop just north of the Colorado state line, or just south, one of the two. I mean, it's right there on the line. It doesn't look like we've got very many options here, though. We'll go in right here. That should get us, that's Cheyenne, that should get us to, yeah, that'll get us pretty close, and we can fuel up and rest up there. So we're going to go ahead and head out. Get the hell in there. Good Lord. And with any luck, this this drive won't be nearly as big a pain in the ass as some of the runs we've done. And we won't have quite such a tight time getting into. What do you bet we get hit? We won't have such a difficult time getting into the receiver. Okay. Come right up on this guy. Maybe he'll get moving when the light turns green. Yeah, I was gonna change the throttle setting because it seems to be way too sensitive. But unfortunately, I can't. So I'm kind of SOL on that. Helps if I try to go from 6 to 7 instead of 6 to 9. I'm glad I was in the correct lane to begin with. Everybody else looked like an idiot. Get it turned, dude. Thank you. So we're gonna hopefully. I don't think we're gonna make it to our rest stop, but I hope that we have some luck in. We have some luck in getting to someplace we can stop. Let me guess. Pull in. Hey, we can bypass. How about that? That's always nice to see. Well, he didn't like me being on him, did he? It would help if the guy coming onto the highway wouldn't have matched our speed right as we got to him. Now I do need that Udine back over at some point, dude. Okay, he got off. We can deal with that. Now, I didn't go into detail about what this load was because I really didn't look at it. It doesn't look like it's got any kind of specialties to it. Well, it just, you know, it's not too big a deal. It just would have added to our income. That's not something that we can really complain too much about. I mean, we've got plenty right now. If we're lucky, we can get through the majority of this before we have to shut down. That's something I never really cared for doing much when I was driving trucks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you're feeling. It doesn't matter how tired you are. If your driver manager or your dispatcher thinks that you can make it, you have to drive, or they will ride your ass to kingdom come. And that to me is a bunch of bull. It should always be about safety. That load can always wait, you know, but life is a little bit more important than money. And that's, you know, a lot of people just don't see that. Me, if I was tired, you know, I'd pull over and I'd sleep. I'd do it full 10, and they'd ask me why I did it. And I said, well, I was tired and my clock was pretty close to being out anyway. And they said, well, it should have been out before you pulled over. Oh, Nobody's doing 75 through here. I don't know why I even want to try. Of course, the speed limit goes back down, so... At least now they're... Here we go again. Are we going to go down to 45 now? I don't think we really need to be doing 55 on interstate here. But whatever, it is what it is. I tell you what, anywhere where the speed limit is below 60, you're always losing time. You will never gain any time at all. 60, you're breaking even. Anything higher than that, you're making time. Anything lower than that, you're losing time. And I absolutely guarantee you people will argue with me on that. But they don't have the same method of judging time and distance as I've got. Those that do argue with me. 60 miles per hour is 60 miles in an hour. Duh. So, anything over that, you will be making time because you will be going faster than what you should be able to in an hour. Anything lower than that, you're losing time. We can shift up. That might help. Maybe we can actually get some distance now. Yeah, that's like I say, that, you know, in a previous episode, not like in California. That's one of the reasons I don't like California, is because they will not allow trucks to go over 55 mile an hour. So you can go all the way across California and you can have a load that goes from Los Angeles to Sacramento. You could be losing time the entire way, and they don't care. They do not care. God, every time. Get in here. Every frickin' time I get that cruise control set, man. Oh, mercy. This is Colorado Springs and Denver are two cities that I absolutely love going to, vacation-wise. That said, I've only been to them a couple of times for a vacation. But in this game, in specific in this game, if there is a terminal here that we can buy, we're going to. This would be a good place to do it. Alright, so it looks like we are going to hopefully make it to Cheyenne before our clock runs out, but I don't have high hopes. We will see. It would be nice if we did. I mean, hell, that'd be a good chunk of the drive out of the way. But it really depends on whether or not we can make it that far. Good thing I didn't try to reset my cruise control. I don't think we're close. I don't think on the interstate we're close enough to see Garden of the Gods from the road. But when I was 15, we went there, and it was it was pretty nice to see that kind of scenery and that kind of landscape. So much different for me being a flatlander, sitting out here, and you could stand up on a stump and see your dog run away for 5 days. You know, I mean, it's that bad out here. There's no I say that, and I'm not entirely joking. There's just no terrain out here. There's no hills. There's not much of anything. If you get trees, chances are farmers planted them about 150 years ago. So, I mean, especially out in western Kansas, my God. Western Kansas is pretty much a desert in comparison to where I live. But still, where I live, it's something to see when you travel anywhere else. You know, it's always a lot more interesting to look at. Well, hopefully we don't get pinged too terribly badly. I'm gonna go into my navigation map real quick, since we're on a fairly straight area, and I'm gonna see how far away we are from that stop. Oh boy. Alright, so we're actually gonna go over here. We're gonna get rid of that one. We ain't gonna make it to anywhere else with any degree of ease, and we're probably gonna get pinged a couple of times on our sleep timer. But that is poor route planning on my part, and bad speed limits on the game's part, but oh well. Can't win. Some days are just like that. It would be nice if we could get moving, though. 55 is just ridiculous. And to the best of my knowledge, it's not 55 through Denver, or between Denver and Colorado Springs. If I'm not mistaken, it is actually 65. But I could be wrong. I probably am. Yes, I know I'm getting tired. I know there's also no place to rest. Within reason. Now there is a rule for driving over your hours, driving over your clock to get to a place to pull over and sleep. And in full honesty, I don't know it, because I've never really had to use it, and I've never really wanted to have to use it. But why are we only doing 65? Only doing 60. I guess that's alright, our turn's coming up. At least I think it is. It'd be nice if it did. We're going to have to pull into a wait station, I'm sure. Yeah, I'll bet you we have to pull in. Oh, wow, how about that? We can bypass. That'll save us a little bit of time. And they're not going to ping us for being over hours. That's good. We're going to turn off here and get to our No, we don't want that or we don't want that one. We want the next one. And hopefully they don't ping us for over hours right as we get to the place. I mean, that would be just stupid. But we'll find out when we get there. I am getting a little bit better with this transmission. It's just not as smooth as I would like it. Particularly because I keep trying to float. Waffletopia. I wonder if that's a replacement for Waffle House. Probably is. We can't pull in there for sleep. And we got pinged. That figures. Oh, maybe we can. Hell. Let's just go right here. How about that? We found a place that's a little bit closer. And they have truck parking, so that's fantastic. Dang it. It didn't stop where I wanted it to stop. Okay, so we're just going to try and get it in a hole. Wherever we end up is where we end up. Not the hardest thing in the world to do, but we're going to make it hard on ourselves, aren't we? Small parking areas. It's the only thing I don't like about this kind of job. Well, that and the bureaucratic bullshit from the companies. Alright, so we are there. We're going to go ahead and get some rest, and we'll be back on the road. Now, oops. Let's see. We've got until 5 a.m. Thursday. So we got about 5 hours to do. Whoops. Dang it. We got about 5 hours to do the rest of the drive. Now, before we get moving too fast, I'm going to cancel out that waypoint. And we're going to get rolling. How many miles? 200. About 4 hours away. That's not too bad. And we're not going to stop. We're going to go right on through. Because we were already moving. And I need over in this lane anyway, so we'll kind of do a couple of dumb things and we'll be all right. Go on to the cloverleaf here. Get ourselves rolling. Something that you never want to do in these trucks is let them just roll if you're going with any kind of real speed down these clover leaves, because they're really tight. They're really not designed for trucks. They're more designed for cars than anything. So trucks have a tendency to flip on them, which is never something you want to have happen. Well, we're going to end up having to find some place to pull off and get fuel anyway, but I think we're going to do that once we get to our destination. We may or may not have to do so beforehand, but as I understand it, there's really not a whole bunch of places to pull off and fuel up on this route, which I know I-25 pretty good, and there should be at least a few. I mentioned Johnson's Corner before, and that's between Denver and Cheyenne, and that's a pretty good place to stop. I've been there several times. I absolutely love being there. But yeah, I didn't see any on the map, so this is kind of a sketchy deal here. Set our cruise control and just chill for a little bit. Port of entry. Now we must be getting close to Cheyenne. Are we going to be able to pull in, or are we going to... Yep, that's what I figured. These guys do like pulling you in real life. Yeah, these guys absolutely love pulling people in real life. There's been very few times that I've ever actually been given a bypass on this weight station. 68073, and I'm not in perfect condition, but they can't do anything about it. So why even bother pulling me in to tell me about it? Go through 8 years before I'm even ready to roll here. Well, we missed that one. And if I'm not mistaken, that's Johnson's Corner. But that could also be the Love's truck stop. That's just north of that weight station. Either one would probably be correct, and either one are good places to pull in real life. But for now, I think we're okay with where we're at. I mute my phone and I still get notifications on my computer. How about that? Now 65 through here is accurate. Wyoming in general is not known for their higher speeds. 65 70, 75, that's about it. I've seen a couple of places where it's 80, but it's usually on the far western edge of the state. What do you bet this truck is not doing the speed, and if we try to go around him, we're going to have to make a turn. We're just going to sit here at 65 for a while and see what he wants to do, because it's now 75 through here. And we're still catching up to him. Come on, dude. There's where we wanted to pull off and stop. Well, he's doing the speed limit now. So that's good at least. Ah, it's 80 through here. I guess I can be wrong a time or two. Let's see if this truck will do 80. I don't think it will. I think the gearing's too... It's not made for higher speeds, but we'll see. It looks like I've got to make a turn up here. That's okay, we don't have much to worry about. Okay. Get rolling here. Whoa, hello. Oops. I want to turn in. Run with our high beams on for a while. Not that I typically would in real life. You can see more, at least I can. I can see more in real life than I can in this game without my high beams, but it's pretty close, I'd say. We are not going to tip our truck. I don't want to do that. Do not pass. No kidding. Couldn't pass if you wanted to. We got about 30 miles to go before we reach our destination, so whoever's behind me can just sit there. I really don't give a damn. May as well just leave them off at this point. Seems like everybody and their brother's spawning just up around the bend. Plus we're coming up on somebody here. Oh, it wants us to go... Oh, that's why it wants us to go that way. There's no way to get over that. So I guess we'll just do that then. Okay. I'll eventually figure out what I'm doing. If it weren't for this dump truck, we'd be going around the corner right now. So after we get this load delivered, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive over. I'm going to find a spot to reset my clock again, and we're going to go back to daytime driving for a while. We'll just coast down. To hell with it. I screwed that shift up big time. Okay. So we should, with any luck, be able to come in here with ease. Oh, that's brilliant. Make that real easy, don't they? Okay. So, where do we need it? Over there. That's alright. We can make that happen. That shouldn't be too difficult to do. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be right in this little hole here. Ooh! That was almost bad. So let's see. Let's do a get out and look here real quick. Yeah, okay, so I need to keep coming around. It's going to be right in that hole. We don't have a whole lot of room to maneuver. And this is going to be a blind side. We don't have much of an option on that. So what I want to do, see where we're at. Okay. Right. I actually want to keep swinging the trailer around. We're going to try and straighten it up. Hopefully before we hit anything. Yeah, okay, so we can start walking ourselves around now. It's a straight back, we just have to walk ourselves around. So that's what we're going to do. And hopefully we'll miss this post that's right next to us. Hey, you made it harder than it had to be again. Yeah, well, I really don't care. I'd rather make it difficult on myself than get into a wreck. Besides, it makes for good content if I don't do everything perfect, right? So we just need to adjust our trailer a little bit. Should be good. Alright, we'll just coast right on back. And we are good there. Alright, so with that, I want to say thank you guys for joining me on this episode. And if you like what you're seeing so far, leave a like and leave a comment on the video and let me know what you think. If you're a professional driver, let me know what I'm doing right. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I'll make some changes and do a little better next time. Share your stories. If you're, like I said, if you're a professional driver, share your stories. We'd love to hear them. Uh, I'm always open for conversation. So if you guys have got some constructive criticism or you've got, stories to share or anything like that, let me hear them. Uh, if you want to support the channel, head on over to Patreon. You can see the address there up on screen, or conversely, find it in the the description down below. Or you could subscribe here to YouTube. But for now, I want to say thank you again, and I will see you on the next one.